attack on the former Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan has left the already distressed country shaken. We try to understand the recent developments in the country with celebrated journalist, managing editor, and senior anchor of Network 18, Anand Narasimhan ji. I'm Shreya Agarwal, journalist and lawyer, and your host for today's current affairs show on Chitty Media. Namaste and welcome to the show.
Namaste, Jai Hind.
So, Anandji, I'm going to begin by first asking you that the former Pakistan Prime Minister, he was shot in the shin when his anti-government protest convoy came under attack in the east of the country. Khan's party has maintained that this was an assassination attempt. What are your views on that?
Well, it just looks like the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf is politically milking it to the hilt. I was actually on air at that time when the incident happened, and we saw the first set of visuals that came through. A lot of details came to the fore thereafter. Yes, Imran Khan was injured, but what he has is largely shrapnel injuries. So it's bullet fragments that have entered his leg. There was a person close to him who was badly injured in the hand. So somewhere it looks like that the bullet deflected, dislodged from his hand, and then did hit Imran Khan on both the legs. And that there were not one but two attackers, because he was standing on top of a container. So when he's standing on top of a container, half of his body, or the lower half, was actually behind the raised hood of the truck. And so his upper body was the one that was exposed. So if somebody wanted to shoot him directly, they would have aimed for the upper body, and he would have got hurt on his legs. So for the PTI to turn around and drum it up as an assassination attempt is politically milking it. Yes, Imran was hurt. Yes, Imran showed put up a very brave face when he continued to raise his hand. He waved, and then he looked very composed even as he was being taken away from that area. There were two attackers. So one attacker was trying to shoot Imran. There was the effort to try and shoot Imran. But was that person a distraction is one question, because there was a civilian behind him who dragged his gun down. So when he dragged his gun down, the bullet fire didn't happen from that direction. It seemed to happen from another direction to the right of Imran Khan, from a particular height or from a house. And there was an attempt to shoot. So that's the other part. So did they aim at Imran to kill him, or did they aim at Imran to hurt him and scare him? Now that's where the whole aspect is questionable. So was it the establishment or the military establishment or the or the current ruling disposition that tried to have him killed as he's alleged? Or was this an attack orchestrated to try and milk the popular support that Imran Khan is getting and further push up the chances of the PTI in the mind space of the people of Pakistan? So this is where the entire domain of inconsistency lies, and whichever side you want to bat for, you would try and skew the narrative accordingly. But politically, Imran Khan and the PTI are milking it. We are thankful that Imran Khan is safe. Yes, he has been advised rest and both his legs are taped, but we saw the X-ray report. The X-ray report shows shrapnel injuries which are just embedded in the top layer of the skin. It's not gone right down into the bone. If it was a real bullet injury, it would have embedded itself and it would have been a deeper, much deeper injury. So that's what you see. But for this to happen, this is bad timing for Shehbaz Sharif and Rana Sanaullah. So that cobbled up opposition today that has formed the government and has been propped up by the establishment after Imran was ousted, this is a big headache because they just don't know how to manage this. And this is the other part is that this attack has happened in a PTI managed province. The Pak province of Punjab is currently with the PTI. Parvez Ilahi is an ally of the PTI. So he's the chief minister of Pakistan, Pak province of Punjab, and he's an ally of Imran Khan. So it's interesting that it has happened in broad daylight when they're moving at snail's pace, day 6, not more than 12 kilometers in the thick of PTI supporters. Two people are coming with what? 9mm pistols. What they had is 9mm pistol. So if the Pakistan establishment wanted to take him out, it won't be with a 9mm pistol. So these are the inconsistencies that we should understand. But politically, yes, Imran Khan is milking it.
Right. That is quite insightful that you share that it's happened on PTI territory. And moving on, I want to know that the attack has happened merely weeks after Lieutenant General Babar Iftikhar and ISI Chief Lieutenant General Nadeem Ahmed Anjum launched an attack on Imran Khan for his allegations against the military for journalist Arshad Sharif's killing in Kenya. Do you think that the killing of Arshad Sharif and the the attack that has happened on Imran Khan, do they have anything to do with each other? Yeah.
But see, it's not the first time journalists have fled Pakistan or journalists have been attacked in Pakistan. Hamid Mir had two bullets, multiple bullet injuries. He had one in his kidney, one lodged in his thigh, and he's still there. There are others who have run off to Canada, they have run off to the UK, and and it is in the previous regimes. And the Pak military has been brutal. The ISI has been brutal because of their political interference. And Imran Khan has made no bones about the fact that he's taking on the military establishment openly. But here's the difference. In the past, the military establishment was brutal and they tend to get away with murder. But this time around, there is huge pressure on Pakistan, huge pressure on Pakistan from China and also from America and the rest of the world, where the military establishment is under compulsion to show Pakistan as a democracy. They cannot show it as under martial rule. And Qamar Javed Bajwa has already got an extension. He's angling for another extension. He dreams to be president of Pakistan like Musharraf does, but he does not want to do a forceful takeover. He's somehow trying to create a situation where none of the political parties are good enough, and the only savior that emerges is the army, and the army is forced to take control of Pakistan because they want to run the nation in the interest of the nation, not because it's a political interest of an individual. So that's how the narrative is being stitched, so that everybody understands that there was no other option but martial law. So that's one part. The other part is, yes, Arshad Sharif, his killing was shocking. Whether or not the establishment was involved, it's your guess as much as mine. But you know that there is some mischief that is happening. Imran Khan has also been propped up by this very establishment. There are huge questions about how Nawaz Sharif was ousted and whether or not did Imran Khan actually have the popular vote. He may be popular now, but at that time when he became prime minister, it was with the blessings of this very establishment. It was he who signed on the document which gave Qamar Javed Bajwa a 3-year extension as the army chief and which ended the careers of nearly 21 lieutenant generals. That's what happened. So there are a lot of people within the Pakistani military establishment who are also upset. So there are sides and wheels within wheels, even within the Pakistani military establishment and the Pakistani deep state. So who's done what, we do not know. But is the establishment involved? Of course it is.
Right, which also brings me to my next question that, like you said, that he had firstly initially come into power in the first place because of the blessings of the military establishment. Would you also say that the no confidence motion that was moved against him and which he eventually lost, resulting into his removal as prime minister, do you think the military also had something to do with that? Because he had also stopped extending his support to the military just before this whole sequence of events unfolded.
It's a great balancing game that Pakistan is trying to play and the Pakistan military establishment is trying to play. See, all democratically elected governments under them, after Liaquat Ali Khan and all, are all puppet governments, especially after martial law and General Zia. There have never been independent, democratically elected civil governments. They've always been propped up by the military, and the Pak military has got too much at stake. Their brigadier level upwards have made too much of money, American dollars, Chinese yuan, or however you want to look at it, Saudi, Riyadh, however you look at it, they have made billions by milking this narrative and by trying to be in control. So they're not going to let go. It's not like India, where the armed forces work very clearly under the flag and within the government of the country, which is elected democratically. There, it's the military that calls the shots. So there is too much at stake for them. If you were to take him, whether or not he was brought down by the Pakistani military establishment, of course, the Pakistani military establishment is the one that brought all the entire warring factions of the opposition together, and they've done it in the past also. But why did they do it? Because they didn't want to be seen firmly in the laps of the Chinese. There was the American narrative and the American lobby which wanted Pakistan to get closer back to the Americans, especially with Afghanistan, vacation by the pullout of troops. And if Pakistan wanted to emerge out of the sanctions that were hurting it heavily economically, it needed to go back and cozy up to the American lobby. And the Pakistani establishment deep state realized when India got the high chair, India got the red carpet welcome. India had multiple presidents, be it Trump, Biden, or even before that, Obama, reaching out, leaning over, and extending that hand of friendship more to India and moving towards India. and seemingly moving away from Pakistan. And this was not acceptable to the Pakistanis. So there were monies which were separated, lobbies groups which were identified to go back and again lobby for the Pakistani cause again within the American deep state and the American administration. And somewhere the message was that you got to move away from China. So if they needed to move away from China, they had to get rid of Imran Khan, because Imran Khan was openly backing China and calling out the Americans. He went to the UNGA, made a fool of himself, but then what did he do there? He again lambasted America on American soil. He was a persona non grata or unwelcome guest in New York. He didn't even have the money to fly in his own plane. The Saudis airdropped him and then refused to fly him back. So that was the situation he had reduced himself to. And the Chinese are only happy because they wanted Pakistan to just run over, steamroll Pakistan to get their entry into ingress into Afghanistan, and especially the rare earth and the minerals for them. The Chinese cause for Afghanistan and using Pakistan is purely because they want to secure their Belt and Road. They want to also ensure the supply of rare earth minerals which are available in the Helmand province and in those regions of Afghanistan, which will become a supply line for them, and they will control the entire world's economy, because they will be the ones who will control the chips. And they will control the silicon and the rare earth that goes into the manufacturing of these chips. So this is a larger game that you're seeing, and Pakistan is nothing but a mere pawn, which is being, or a football, which is being kicked about by both the Americans and the Chinese.
Correct. So then, would you agree with Khan's statement that his removal from office in a vote in the no confidence vote was actually part of a foreign conspiracy plotted in the United States with the help of Pakistani opposition parties? This is what he had said about his removal, about the no confidence vote.
So then Imran Khan has to agree that his ascension to the throne or ascension as prime minister was also a conspiracy plotted by the Americans, also by the Chinese, in consonance with the Chinese, along with the military establishment. So you can't just believe one part of what Imran Khan says and not believe the other part. Na? So you have to take it with a pinch of salt. Thoda discount karke, you have to see through what he says, his bluster.
Correct. Bringing me back to to the point of Ashad Sharif's killing, I want to know that essentially you said that this is not a one-off incident. It's very common for journalists to be targeted in this manner, for such targeted killings to happen every now and then. What does this tell us about which of the pillars of Pakistan as a nation state do you see functioning properly in the present times? So, what do you see happening to Pakistan as a nation state? Yeah,
Well, till the time the Pakistani people truly take control, there is no concept of a nation state as Pakistan. It's nothing but a banana, entity that is being run by a crazy military establishment, which still has not been able to get over the humiliation of 1971, when 90,000 of those Faujis were held POW by India. A lot of those people who were soldier rank, major rank at that time, today are have risen to lieutenant general rank or towards that level. So they have not been able to shake off that humiliation and that obsession with India and bleeding India with a thousand cuts and partitioning and breaking India continues to remain purely because of that humiliation of 1971. And of course, their obsession with Kashmir. They have only two narratives. One is India, the other is Kashmir. Do they have a narrative for Pakistan? No. The blame has to be purely on the military establishment and the deep state, because the people of Pakistan have given too much of power and allowed the military state to call. The military state has to be brought to heel. It has to be put on a leash, and it has to be made to sit down and wag its tail to the people of Pakistan. That change needs to happen. But ironically or sadly, that narrative is so corrupted that fundamentalists are having a free run there. Education has taken a backseat. Employment has taken a backseat. You just have rabid radicals largely. The people, a lot of Pakistan's educated group are sensible. They know economic prosperity is important. Friendly neighborhood relationships are important. Prosperity, peace, coexistence is important. Respect for culture is important. A lot of the Pakistani people know. So, I'm not branding Pakistani people. See, there's a difference you got to draw between the PLA, CCP and the Chinese people. The same way you got to draw this difference between, the Pakistani person or people and the Pakistani establishment and the deep state. So the deep state is corrupting the people. It is. because it wants it, because that's how you keep the people ignorant, keep them stupid. Then they are like sheep, and then you herd them. A few wolf dogs are enough to herd a whole flock of sheep. But if the sheep start thinking, and if the sheep start becoming horses, then wolf dogs don't come into play. The horses will kick them out. That's what's needed. If this continues in Pakistan, it's hurtling towards balkanization. So it will be broken into multiple subas and riyasats. You will have Sindh province, you will have the Baloch province, you will have Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and you will have the Pak province of Punjab. That's how it will be.
Which also brings me to the point that India has also said that it's going to advance towards Baltistan and Gilgit. So, do you think anything, or can you see anything happening on that front with respect to India's prospects?
Those are integral parts of India. Those are integral parts of Bharat, where foreign entities have been sitting and squatting on for more than 7 decades. So if I want to take a walk towards Gilgit and Skardu, it's my right because it's sovereign Indian territory. So let's not try and confuse the narratives there. Gilgit Baltistan is an integral part of Bharat, and if the defense minister of the country says we want to march, then we all should march collectively, because that is our part, which some a person is encroaching upon. So if somebody were to sit on your balcony tomorrow and your house and say, "Hey, this is my part," and they, because I've been sitting on it for 70 years, does it stop being your balcony? One day you will decide, no, I want to clean up all these encroachers and I want to reclaim my balcony. So that's something which I reserve the right, because it's sovereign Indian territory.
Thank you so much, Anandji, for joining us for today's talk, taking time out. So, hope to see you soon sometime in another show on
Nahi,
more relevant
namaste,
issues.
namaste, and thank you very, very much.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.